In August of 2024, when the FTX-1 was announced, I was really excited. My shack rig is the FTX-10, and I love it. I was thinking, man, it would be really cool to have a field version of the FTX-10. So I waited in anticipation. Information on the FTX-1 was pretty limited right up until a couple weeks before the launch this past May. So, did I pre-order the FTX-1? No. Did I order one when they first came out? No. Am I even planning on getting an FTX-1? No, not at this time. I will show you what I did get, and more important, why, coming up next. Welcome to the House of Ham. I'm Bob WV7W. YouTube has been aglow with the FTX-1 Field and Optima, and I was pretty excited about it. I was seriously considering getting the Optima version myself, but finally decided against it. Why? Is it because it has some issues like APRS not working as expected? Nah, to be honest, I don't really care about that. Is it because it's too expensive? A little bit, but not the thing that put me over the edge. Is it because it's bigger and heavier than most expected? Now we're getting closer. The things that changed my mind against the FTX-1 are really less about the radio itself, as from what I'm hearing, it is actually pretty great. And I think as they work the initial kinks out of it, it'll be awesome and many hams will love it. But for me, it just doesn't fit my portable operating style. Now, if you've been around my channel since the beginning, you know that I had the ICOM IC705, and it was a great radio too. But it was not the rig I grabbed when I went out in the field. I had to force myself to take it. And eventually I sold it when I bought the KH-1. And you know what? I don't even miss it. So would the FTX-1 eventually be the same way? I think so. In the end, it would be too big and heavy for me to reach for as I head out to a park, not to mention the summit. Now for the Optima amplifier, it makes a 100-watt radio with a tuner, which is pretty cool. But to be honest, I have an FT891, which is about the same size as the Optima amp. Now granted, it doesn't have a tuner, nor does it have 2 meters or 70 centimeters. But again, I don't use those enough for me to bite. As they were first talking about it, it sounded like the receiver was going to be comparable to the FT710. Now this excited me as I tested the 710 alongside my FTDX10, and they were very close. But from what I'm hearing from actual users that have tested it, it doesn't hear quite as well as the 710. It hears about the same as the IC705. Now that's not a really terrible thing, as the 705 receiver's actually pretty good. But I'm a CW operator, and I often find myself leaning in to hear very weak stations. So sensitivity matters to me. So what things do I like about the FTX-1? I like how it has a similar menu system to the FTDX10, although not quite as easy to get to some functions. I like the nice color screen, but you have to be careful of that out in the field. And I really like what I'm hearing about the loudness and clarity of the audio. That is one thing I may lament about what I did get, but more on that in a moment. So my decision to not get the FTX-1 was not because it isn't a good radio, because I think it is. But in the end, I just couldn't justify spending over $2,000 on something that will probably sit most of the time. Once the shine wears off of having the latest rig, I would leave it for my KX2 or the radio that I did get. All right, Bob, enough teasing. What did you get? I got this. The Lab 599 TX500. Now I can hear some of you right now, that radio's been out for like 5 years. Yes, it certainly is not the newest radio. It's been out about as long as the IC705. In fact, I was looking at it when I bought the KX2. But since it's been released, it has proven to be a very reliable and durable rig. To be honest, I rarely go for the newest equipment right as it comes out. The KH-1 is kind of an exception, as I ordered mine within a month of the announcement. So, why the TX500? For me, I wanted something I can take out when the weather may not be the greatest and not have to worry about it getting wet. I also wanted something that was small and light, and the FTX-1 is neither of those. One of the most important things to me is the sensitivity of the receiver, and all the research I did led me to believe that the TX500 hears well. Now, some of you may be thinking, yeah, Bob, it's like 59 on the Sherwood list. Keep in mind that Bob Sherwood's rankings are based on many factors, not just sensitivity and selectivity. I was mostly going off of what others had said from real-life field operations. Lab tests are great, but I won't be using my radio in a lab. I like that it has a band scope, doesn't have a waterfall, and it is black and white, but it works well. And another thing I like about this rig is it sips power. It only draws about 100 milliamps on receive. Compare that to the FTX-1 that draws about 600 milliamps on receive at the very best. Some say it can even go up to almost as much as an amp hour. Now, all the specs in the world don't mean nearly as much as user experience, and that is a very personal thing. Here is the deal. Radio selection is a subjective thing. You have to go with the one that is right for you, not what I like. Commercially available HF field radios are expensive. There's no two ways about it. So you want to make a well-informed decision before you go out and spend over $1,000 on a radio. When making a buying decision, do as much research as you can and decide for yourself what you want. If you can afford them all and want them all, go for it. Most hams have a bit of a tighter budget. Most important, get out there and play radio. Until next time, this is WV7W 73.